I love this article because it's The Guardian, and it's like, Donald Trump vows to lock up his political enemies if he returns to the White House. You mean what they're trying to do to him right now? What they're trying to do to Donald Trump right now. He plans to do it back to them when he gets into power. Fuck yeah, he should. Fuck yeah, he should. If I suddenly, like, overnight became First Minister of Scotland, I'm going to turn around and go, every single person who signed off on my case, every police officer that arrested me, the judge in my trial, the prosecutor, absolutely everyone, yeah, we're going to have you in front of the court for human rights violations, and every single other police officer and everybody else that's ever arrested anyone over a fucking tweet. Yeah, hell yeah, I would. Absolutely, I would. Chapter 3 of Democracy, the God That Failed. But yeah, absolutely would. And if Trump wants to do that, yeah, absolutely. Donald Trump says he will lock up his political enemies if he is president again. Well, it's not a case of he's locking them up because they're his political enemies. It's because they've done a bunch of illegal, corrupt shit because they are his political enemies. If that makes sense. I don't think it does. It's late. I'm sorry. In an interview on Tuesday, the right-wing broadcaster Glenn Beck raised Trump's famous campaign trail vow to lock up Hillary Clinton, his opponent in 2016, a promise that Trump did not fulfill in office. Beck said, "Do you regret not locking Clinton up? And if you're president if you're president again, will you lock people up?" Trump said, "The answer is you have no choice because they're doing it to us." Trump has encouraged the lock her up chant against other opponents, but he remains in considerable danger of being locked up himself. Under 4 indictments, he faces 91 criminal charges related to election subversion, retention of classified information, and hush money payments to an adult film star. He denies wrongdoing and claims to be the victim of political persecution. Trials are scheduled next year. It is political persecution. 110% it absolutely is. Earlier this month, remember how the thing that I've said all the time is America, you could be the Democrats, you could be the Republicans, they're all part of the same club. They're all part of the same club. They're all the same families and connections and all this fucking nepotistic bullshit that is just spread all the way throughout the American government. The American government, I would say, is one of the most corrupt ones in the entire world. I mean, this is a government that literally did, like, medical experiments on, like, their own people. Oh, look, here's a poor black neighborhood. Let's just fucking fill them all with fucking syphilis and see what happens and shit like that, right? They turn around and talk about authoritarian governments around the world. The American government has done some of the most corrupt, heinous, and fucked up shit, like, to its own people. I mean, things like, look at Waco, look at Ruby Ridge, look at the Tuskegee experiments and all this type of stuff. And, like, basically, if the government doesn't like you, they will just drum up shit tons of fucking mental charges to put you away. One thing that's happening just now constantly, especially when now DNA evidence can be used on old cases, you're getting, like, people that were locked up for murder in, like, 1987 only just now getting released because they didn't do it, and there's a lot of them. A lot of them, because the state system in America is just so fucking corrupt. So, yeah, and basically, Trump wasn't part of that special little club. He wasn't part of it. So when he won, they went full panic mode. They used all their connections in the media and the press to absolutely attack and annihilate him. They're using, basically, they own the FBI and the CIA, so they're doing the exact same thing. Everybody's all doing it because this guy managed to get into our little club, and he fucked up our plans for the future. What plans are those? Google it. But basically, that's what happened. They went into full panic mode. Everybody loved him. Loads of people were into him and all that stuff. And even despite the fucking 4 years of just constant annihilation in the press, it only made him stronger. So now they're just going full panic mode, mask off, fuck it, let's just lock him up. That is what's happening. He wasn't in the special little club. So see if anybody's like, I hate the government, man, like Antifa and all that stuff. If you do, then vote Trump. Right? Vote for fucking Donald Trump. Also, if you're Argentinian, vote for Javier Milei. I fucking love him. I love Javier. The forces from heaven. That's the RGs will get that one. Earlier this month, Politico calculated that Trump faced a maximum of 641 years in jail after the addition of 13 racketeering and conspiracy charges in Georgia. Forbes upped the total to more than 717 years. Trump is 77. They're going to put him in jail until he dies. They're like, if he's out there, he's still going to be a political problem. But if we can lock him up in jail forever, then hey-ho. And also political dissidents in American jails, that the American government are worried about. They don't last long, do they? They have a nasty habit of not hanging themselves. Both sides noted, however, that if convicted, the former president was unlikely to receive maximum sentences, nor would convictions bar Trump from running for president or being elected. On that score, Trump dominates national and key state polling regarding the Republican presidential nomination. A part of me kind of hopes they put Trump in jail because he can still. I don't know if this is true. I believe he can still run from jail. He can still run for president from jail. I don't know if that's true. But if they put him in jail, bolster everyone. That'll that'll light a fire. So, I kind of hope they do. In his Tuesday interview on Blaze TV, Trump also said he never hit Biden as hard as I could have while in office. Trump's first impeachment concerned attempts to find dirt on rivals, including Biden, related to politics and businesses in Ukraine. That's called politics, mate. Everybody fucking does that. Like, find dirt on him. Really? How did you get all the stuff for your indictments? Because you did the exact same thing. Now in Congress, Trump's Republican allies are threatening to impeach Biden over unsubstantiated allegations connected to his surviving son, Hunter. They are not unsubstantiated. Shut your mouth, Guardian. Trump told Beck that Biden was behind the indictments against him. In fact, all were brought by prosecutors independent of the White House. Remember earlier on when I was talking about nepotism? 44 by the Justice Department Special Counsel Jack Smith, 34 by the Manhattan District Attorney. Jack Smith, I wonder who he is. I wonder what his background is. Google, by the Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, and 13 by Fannie Willis, the District Attorney of Fulton County, Georgia. Trump also claimed, the woman that I never met that they accused me of rape, that's being run by a Democrat operative, and paid for by the Democratic Party. That was in reference to several claims brought by E. Jean Carroll, a writer who says that Trump sexually assaulted her in New York in the 1990s. Earlier this year, Trump was found liable for sexual abuse and defamation and fined about $5 million. A second trial is due next year. The judge in the case has said that Trump has been adjudicated a racist. A rapist. Also facing investigations of his business affairs, Trump said Democrats and other opponents were sick people, evil people. The twice impeached, 4 times indicted, 91 times charged ex-president also told Beck he always had such great respect for the office of the president and the presidency. Not everyone can afford to pay for news right now. Oh, fucking fuck off, Guardian, we are bloody begging. Right. I hope he does. I absolutely hope he does. See all that? I hope Trump doesn't do what he did last time where he drops the ball on so many things. He didn't pardon Julian Assange. He didn't pardon... I wish he pardoned fucking... I feel bad because I've forgotten his name. It's not like I did an entire video on the guy or anything. Dread Pirate Roberts. I forget his real name. I'm so sorry about that. I literally did the Mad Lad and the guy and I forgot his fucking name. If he should have pardoned him, and there's so many people he should have pardoned, and yeah, he should have started locking people up because there is a deep, deep corruption that just runs right through the heart of the American government. They have been fucking around so much for so long. Like they constantly interfere in foreign affairs with other countries and everything like that. They're constantly interfering with their own people. They give people like the illusion that this is the freest country on earth. No, it's not. Like, no, it's not. America is not the freest country on earth. Like, a lot of the things the American government do are absolutely terrible, and it's just a bunch of people that want to keep their power and their prestige. And because this little funny tan man that's came out from the sidelines is trying to get into their little club and fucking up their plans, they're throwing everything they can at him. It's just absolute deep-seated corruption, just all the way through. The American government, like, Republican and Democrat, because the Democrats are doing all this shit, and the Republicans just aren't doing anything about it apart from going, oh, that's terrible, and it's like, you're just controlled opposition. It's like, oh, we're supposed to look bad, we're supposed to say that stuff's bad, but then not actually do anything to try and stop it. Right, the whole thing's shite. And I was DeSantis for a little while, but then information came to light and I'm not Team DeSantis anymore. And I did say like 100 times over, like, if there was a big red button to make Trump president again, I would press it. I would fucking press it. Right? I absolutely would. But I thought because of the sheer well poisoning that happened with the press, like over, those 4 years, I didn't think it was possible. I would love Trump again. I just don't think it's feasible. And I thought, DeSantis, yeah, he seems like an okay guy. And then some stuff came to light, and he's not an okay guy. So yeah, I want Trump to run again. I want him to be the nomination. I want him to be in charge. That's what I want, because I want 4 more years of absolute tears.